Today I'll be showing you a quick dopamine-based morning routine that not only made me addicted to studying, but it also got me an average of 98% grades at school. So I got straight A's. And the good thing about this routine is that it's so easy to implement. It does not take much to implement. You just have to literally change one thing and you're golden. So let's get straight into it. Now, this routine will not only make you 10 times more productive, but it will actually make you enjoy studying, which is the most important part. It will make studying addicting because this morning routine takes advantage of your dopamine levels. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so for a quick explanation of what dopamine is, let's say this is your day and this is your dopamine. And I'm going to add a third line, which is your baseline. Basically, when you wake up in the morning, your dopamine is somewhere around this range, somewhere here, right? The problem is a lot of students or people in general start their morning routine by opening their phone or watching social media or, I don't know, even pornography. And the problem with those kinds of activities is it causes an early dopamine spike. And the problem with huge spikes of dopamine in the morning is that it will create a huge drop to compensate for the huge dopamine spike because of course your body undergoes homeostasis. Your body needs to balance your levels of dopamine. And because of its huge drop, whatever you do during this time will just feel like a freaking chore. It will feel like work. It will feel unenjoyable. This is why whenever you use your phone at this time, it will cause a huge spike. And typically when you try to study after using a device, so for example here, in this range, your studying will just feel really unenjoyable. Like literally you will rather be doing anything else. And this is why most people, after using their phone and social media, what do they do to circumvent this? They obviously go back to using their phone again. And that is the problem with starting your day off with a dopaminergic activity. It starts your day off with such a peak, your day ends up looking like this. It's gonna look very messy. And because of these peaks, it's going to be hard for you to focus doing literally anything. Now, what about a top student? A top student manages their dopamine levels like this. So typically in the morning when they wake up, the first thing they do is they don't use their phones. So it's going to look something like this. When you don't use your phone or if you don't do any dopaminergic activity, your dopamine stays at this baseline. And because you're at this baseline, whatever you're doing like work or studying or whatever, it becomes enjoyable. Because your brain is not suffering from a huge dopamine spike, therefore it becomes a consistent. And throughout the day when you're eating or whatever, as long as you're keeping this line in check, then you're going to have a good, consistent study habit. Top students typically aim for more natural sources of dopamine, like for example, studying itself or going outdoors or even exercising. So the first thing I do whenever I wake up, or regardless of what time I wake up, although I do wake up at 5 a.m. nowadays because I find that to be the most practical time for me, but there isn't really a correct time to get up. So as long as you just follow this routine when you get up. But literally the first thing I do when I get up and I get out of bed is I don't go to my phone. I literally don't touch that thing. It's usually in silent mode and I just don't open it. I don't check messages. I don't check emails. I don't even check my classes if there's an announcement. I don't touch a piece of technology. I just go straight to meditate. And basically my meditation does two things. The first thing is that it clears my mind. It stabilizes my dopamine so it's not spiking, so it has that baseline level. Not only does this help start my day, but it also helps me study because anything that's occurring in my mind will be flushed away when I'm meditating. So I always do this before I study because it's quite beneficial as well, because when you're taking information as much as possible, you don't want to have too much cognitive load like thoughts or anything disturbing you. So that's why the first thing I do when I get out of bed is I literally just meditate. And I meditate for a couple minutes before I start studying.